Before we get into the mayor's address, we do have a presentation to make. As you may know, if you come to our events often, each quarter, the Midland Area Chamber of Commerce is proud to select an outstanding member organization or individual to honor as the member of the quarter at our membership meetings like today's State of the City address. Well, today, the 2018 first quarter honoree has really been a tremendous asset to our chamber, and I would say to our community on a lot of different levels. Our member of the quarter is a community-oriented individual and has participated in Midland Blooms and volunteered with the chamber's reality store. On any given morning, you could run into our member of the quarter at a chamber member coffee shop meeting with members of the community. And I know that's true because the last 2 times I was in a coffee shop, this person was there, lo and behold. You might also find him playing tennis with friends or biking to work on a warm or not so warm day. He is part of our Government Issues Committee, also serves on the chamber board, and spends a lot of time with our My Pros group. In fact, for the past year, he has served as the My Pros Steering Committee Chair and has been instrumental at revamping the group and growing its membership to over 200. He became a new uncle at the end of January and received a promotion with his current employer. And this is going to give it away. So before we do that, I just want to mention, he really is a wonderful asset for our community. And when he joined us not too long ago, I said, you better watch this young man because he's going to rise and he's going to be a true community leader. And he's attained that much faster than I anticipated for sure. Grant is the Director of Planning and Community Development for the City of Midland. For all his hard work and support of the Midland Chamber, please help me in congratulating our member of the quarter, Grant Marshall, from the City of Midland.
I guess what I'd want to say is there's been a lot of people along the way that have been tremendously influential in helping me get to this point. I think I've had some great people that have done a fantastic job. My boss, Brad, that was still my boss, and my former boss, too. It's been tremendous to work with him and John Lynch, and just the interest that people have taken into me and encouraged me to spend my time doing different things, and getting involved in My Pros, I think, was actually Tina Lynch's urging for me to do too. So it's definitely been a team effort, and there's certainly a lot of people that have helped out along the way. So I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Grant. We're so appreciative and fortunate that you're here. We truly appreciate you. With that, let's get into our program. And so at this time, I'd like to welcome forward John Lynch, the president for Three Rivers Corporation. John?
Thank you very much. You folks know how this works. You've been through thousands of speaker introductions, I'm sure. And typically, the introducer is tasked with reading the bio of the speaker, mentioning what a great honor and privilege it is to introduce the speaker, and usually reference the speaker as a friend, even despite the fact that many times they've just met the speaker within the 5 minutes that the mic went hot. So today, I'm not going to read the mayor's bio. I can assure you that she is quite accomplished. I will reference for you the fact, though, that she was first elected to the City Council in 2007, and she became the mayor in 2009. those of you in this room are probably familiar with the fact that from 2006 to last year, about mid-year, I served the city in the capacity of city manager. So what this means is, for over a decade, the mayor was my boss. And we worked very closely together, addressing and resolving many of the issues of interest to the community at large. And in that capacity, I would tell you that when it comes to this being an honor to do the introduction, for me it is a tremendous honor, because I think very many people don't really understand what we have in our mayor. We have an individual, you see, who is completely committed to service to others. She absolutely invests every ounce of her being into looking after this community. She loves Midland more than any person I have ever encountered, and she genuinely cares about every person that lives here, works here, and visits here. So yeah, it's quite an honor. As for it being a privilege, over the course of that 10 years, the mayor and I shared many moments, along with the staff and the wonderful people that I worked with then. And those moments traversed a variety of issues. There were certainly tears and laughter. There were successes and failures. And there were moments that were euphoric and heart-wrenching. And through it all, the mayor stayed steadfastly committed to the notion that civility and public discourse needed to happen above all else. And today's society, I would contend that we could use a lot more of that. And then finally, with respect to friendship, my family and I have been blessed to call the mayor our friends. She is caring, she's kind, she's thoughtful. She is the epitome of what you would want in a good friend. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I would like it if you would please recognize the honor and privilege that I have to introduce to you today my friend, Mayor Maureen Donker.
Told him not to make me cry. It's going to take me a minute to compose myself. Hold on. Well, my nose is red, John. Okay. Whew. Thank you, John, for that kind introduction. You are my friend, no matter what, so thanks. And I want to thank the Chamber, my wonderful friends at the Chamber, for the invitation to be here today. And I want to thank all of you for coming to hear about your city. Some of my colleagues from the city are here, and I ask that they stand up. Come on, everybody. Come on, there's some at that table over there. All right. Okay. These are the people. These are the people who keep us safe, make sure we're fiscally responsible, make sure our community is clean and beautiful. They make sure that we communicate effectively to you. They make sure we're transparent, and so much more. And so much more. And so please, I want you one more time to thank them for the wonderful job that they do in keeping our city the great city that it is. And my colleagues from council are here too. It is a wonderful experience for me to serve with them. You know, I think we're a team, as much as a team you can be when you have to be sure you don't violate that Open Meetings Act. But with that said, what I really appreciate about them is their caring and commitment that they have to this community. So let me introduce them. Tom Adams, Ward 1. Steve Arnosky, Ward 3. Diane Brown-Wilhelm, Ward 4. and Mayor Pro Tem Marty Wadspinski, Ward 5. This is my 9th State of the City address. 9 times I've had the opportunity to stand before you and tell you about the progress and the challenges that we've had as a community. As I considered what to talk about this year, I thought, really, what should my focus be? And as I reflected on previous years, there's one theme that came through year after year, and it was change. Sometimes the change is about our major employers like Dow and Dow Corning. Sometimes it's about finances and taxes or major projects going on in the community. And sometimes it's about personnel changes, like last year when we got our new city manager. This year, the change is about transition, and it's about the uncertainty that comes with not knowing our future. There's even a word for this kind of change. It's liminal. And liminal is the Latin word for threshold. It's any place of entering or beginning. A liminal space is like being on a doorstop waiting to enter into something new. Sometimes in this liminal space we pause, not sure what comes next. Do we wait or do we walk through? Or do we turn around and go back? I think that you would agree that as a city, we're transitioning from one version of ourselves to another. The Dow-DuPont merger is complete, it's on our minds, and I think if we're being honest, we feel a little uncertain about what's going to happen next year and beyond as we welcome these new employers and see the future Dow being formed. It's a change from what we're accustomed to. We have other changes too. Our cityscape is changing. We're rerouting Saginaw Road, Dow Gardens is expanding, downtown revitalization is underway, and we're waiting to see how these transformations change our city's attractiveness and vibrancy. I thought a lot about the role of community leaders in these transitions, and my conclusion is this. This liminal space, this space of transition where we are on the threshold of change, has an agenda for us. It is telling us that we have the opportunity to create an exciting future that is better than the past. It is saying that we don't need to fear change and we need to welcome it because these transitions are always going to be there in some way. It's saying that you're not yet what you're going to be, and that's good. In the words of Blaise Pascal, who was a 17th century mathematician and philosopher, he says, somewhere something incredible is waiting to be known. That's us. In this time of change, something incredible is about to be known, and frankly, I'm really excited about it. If we want to be the community of choice, we need to work to be the community of change. It's not one thing that's going to help us get there, it's many things. And from my viewpoint, we're moving in the right direction, and that's what I would like to talk about. Usually I talk about challenges. This year, I want to challenge all of you. 3 things I want to challenge you with. First of all, it has to do with our changing business community. Dow and DuPont have merged. And when most mergers occur, it's 2 companies becoming one. And when this merger is complete, it's going to be 2 companies becoming 3. And these are not just 3 ordinary companies. These are 3 global multi-billion-dollar companies. And all 3 of these companies are going to have a presence in our community. Corteva Agriscience, Dow, and DuPont will be right here in Midland. Their focus is on growth, and they want to invest in a place that's going to help them be successful. We want to be the city of choice, so we need to show them that Midland is a great community and a great place and business-friendly and a wonderful place to operate. It becomes incumbent upon all of us, to welcome these businesses and work to make them want to reinvest here. Community engagement, second challenge. Over the next few months, we're going to be addressing some major changes some major issues that are going to impact our community. And I'm going to talk about those issues further on in my remarks. But I want you to know there's going to be several opportunities for input on these issues, and we're hoping that you will participate. This is your city, and your participation is going to help us make better informed decisions. On your table is a card. It lists all the opportunities on it. Please take it with you, and we hope you'll participate. Last, fiscal priorities and budget. I mean, what's the state of the city without that? Well, we continue to focus on the 3 goals that work so well for us as a community: enhancing quality of life, effective utilization of resources, and economic sustainability. Last year, I told you that the largest budgetary issue facing the city was unfunded liabilities related to pension and retiree health care. In response to that daunting problem, our city employees have agreed to reduce their pension benefits and increase cost sharing. And the retirees over age 65 are all now enrolled in a Medicare Advantage plan. These changes have reduced the city's annual obligation to an amount that's more manageable as we aspire to pay down these obligations so they're no longer a problem. The cost of providing services increases annually about 2.5%, and our ability to meet these increases becomes more difficult every year. Last year, after several years with no tax increase, we did increase the millage rate from 15 to 15.14. This year, because of our conservative approach to budgeting and because we're able to take advantage of some one-time cost savings, our goal is to not increase the millage rate. We work very hard to make the most of every tax dollar you entrust to us, and that is becoming more difficult to do. So we need to look at ways to do things differently. We are planning a citizens engagement process for later on this year to explore budget priorities as we prepare for fiscal year 1920 and beyond. We hope that you're going to participate. So now let's take a look at some of the things that occurred in Midland last year.
So are you telling me that this article was fake news?
A busy year last year in Midland, yay. All right, now I'd like to focus on our accomplishments and some of the things that you're going to be seeing in the future. Last year, we had a flood. And certainly, that was a significant event for Midland, and there's many people that are still recovering from it. As I've seen in many times, our city is incredible, and neighbors came together to help other neighbors in need. It was a difficult situation that was made better by our caring residents. This was not the usual flooding event with the water rising from the Tittabawassee, but it was an overland flooding event with drains and creeks not able to evacuate the water quickly enough. Our fire and police departments mobilized all available personnel, and they were blocking off streets, evacuating people from the area, performing water rescues, and responding to weather service calls. Over 150 rescues and evacuations were performed. The Department of Public Services employees logged over 3,000 hours in 2 weeks following the flood. They collected 1,200 truckloads of curbside debris from residents in 14 days. I want to recognize the dedication and the performance of our fire department, our police department, our Department of Public Services, and our leadership team at the city. Some of these individuals did not see their families for days. They are amazing, and we are truly blessed. In response to the flood, we're conducting a storm and sanitary sewer study. This study is going to help us determine the condition of our sewer system and for particular rain events, and provide us with information for developing solutions. The consultants are in the process of wrapping up the study, and they're going to be sharing the information with us this spring. Now, this is one of those opportunities for community engagement. The results of the study and the public input are going to help us guide community investment in our priorities moving forward. Again, we hope that you'll participate. The lower level of our library also sustained damage during the flood, and right now it's under construction, and we hope it's going to be ready by the time the summer reading program starts. We are incredibly grateful to the Herbert and Grace A. Dow Foundation, to the Friends of the Library, to the Rotary Foundation, and to the many citizens whose financial contributions have helped make this restoration possible. The Fascia Project on the library is complete. The exterior metal was replaced with glass channels to capture the concept of the original design that was envisioned by Alden B. Dow. This project also preserves and enhances the architectural beauty of the building. Our police department have been working collaboratively with other organizations across the community to address the drug and opiate issue, which is a national epidemic. In addition to being actively engaged in community discussions, they have also co-hosted Facebook Live sessions. They have participated in a number of summits and symposiums, both locally and across the state. They are working to bring the program, Hope Not Handcuffs, to Midland. And this is a program that helps individuals who are struggling with addiction get into the recovery that they need. Dump Your Drugs has also had a major role in this. Last year they collected over 3,300 pounds of unused medication, and that program has collected 20,000 pounds since it began in 2009. The department also wants to make sure that they are providing the community with the best service possible. And to that end, they are working on receiving accreditation from the Michigan Association of Chiefs of Police. And most recently, we were named one of the top 5 cities in the nation in which to retire. Our Tridge project is completed. This was a $2.7 million renovation. The work has included new staining, installing new decking, new railings, and we've added 3 new red benches in the center of the Tridge. We've also added LED lighting that's going to change colors for holidays and special occasions. In spring, we're going to begin a project in Emerson Park, and this project is going to convert a pump house along the river. It's an out-of-use pump house, I want to make sure you know that, into an overlook area. This project is going to offer the opportunity for people to learn more about our rivers, and it's also going to support our goal of more accessible and barrier-free opportunities for people to enjoy in our community. In addition to the overlook, there's going to be a parking lot that will connect to the rail trail, 200 feet of boardwalk with a floating docks for kayaks and canoes, and an accessible path and fishing dock. City forest. Our city forest, the bridges that are part of the mountain bike trail, were heavily damaged this June when that flood occurred. Now, I love this story. Dale Milkey, who is one of our employees in Parks and Rec, had the idea to take the old stoplight fixtures that were being taken down downtown and turning them into bridges. The metal fixtures were repainted, railings were added, they took wood from the Tridge, they salvaged that, and they made it the base of the bridges. Now take a look at those. Aren't they incredible? I think it just goes to show how skilled, creative, and resourceful our employees are. And they won an award for this from the Michigan Parks and Recreation Association. Over the past year, a housing study has been conducted in the county, and this was a collaborative project led by Habitat for Humanity. As part of the research for this study, the consultants have met with all the housing stakeholders. And the result of the study is going to be used to help guide the community's approach on the development of housing units, rental quality management, housing rehab efforts, and long-range planning. The final report is going to be out tomorrow, Grant? Tomorrow. We're also in the process of updating our website, and these changes are going to make it easier for you to get to the information you need. We are modernizing the look and the feel of the site and optimizing it for mobile use so it's easier for you to use on your phones and tablets. Now, one of the things that I think we do so well as a community, one of our strengths is collaborating effectively. And I would like to tell you about some of the collaborations that are going on. The first is Our Community Listens, and I introduced this to you last year. This is a communication training program that helps you understand about your style of communications, how it can help you, and you learn about how to be a better listener, and what you can do to address conflict more efficiently. Now, a couple by the name of Bob and Cynthia Chapman loved this program, and they formed a nonprofit foundation in order to help bring this to communities across the country. This program started here in 2015, and to date, they have invested over $1 million in our community, and more than 800 people have taken advantage of this program. Bob Chapman, he's coming to Midland in May because he is blown away by our growth. The level of leadership that we've had invest in this community. This community's chapter has grown faster than any other chapter across the nation. If you've not taken the program or haven't heard about it before, I encourage you to check it out. Positive psychology in Midland. We're building on the work that we began last year with the University of Pennsylvania. We asked them to help us to develop an approach that would build well-being, help residents become citizens, enhance community connections, and create a more welcoming place for diverse populations. This year, 39 individuals from across the city have begun the process to become certified in applied positive psychology. They are learning the principles of well-being and how to use them to improve quality of life here in Midland. To help support this work, we again applied and were chosen as a service learning project at Penn. We were one of 11 projects chosen. Here is another opportunity for you to be involved, for you to engage. The group, our class for Midland, is working to establish a baseline measurement of well-being in Midland. On your card is a website, the website for the city. Please click on that, take the survey, and please help them get more surveys and share the link with your family and friends. The Community Health Improvement Plan is the project that addresses some of the toughest issues that we face in our community. One of their most significant accomplishments this past year has been the launching of the Hope Portal. You know, good mental health is important to any thriving community. And the Hope Portal, which is powered by 211, is a web-based resource that helps people connect to mental health care information, resources, and providers. I'm going to list them for you. It includes licensed professionals, profit and nonprofit organizations, help hotlines, support organizations, and hospitals and medical facilities. This is the first program of its kind in the state. Catalyst Midland. Catalyst Midland is a free online publication that is brought to you by a coalition of organizations across the city. So many wonderful things are happening in our community, and Catalyst Midland is helping get the word out. These are stories about talent, innovation, transformation, and entrepreneurship that are helping shape our future. Ultimately, this will be an economic development tool and help us attract talent. Now I want to take a walk around the community. And I'm going to start with Midland Public Schools. Sadly, school safety has been in the news a lot lately. We have secure entrances and surveillance cameras at all of the schools. And I want you to know that student safety is the #1 priority of Midland Public Schools. In September, they started a PATHS program, which a combination of the traditional face-to-face learning, online learning, and career and technical training. It is geared towards high school students who may not be successful in the traditional high school model. Now, on the opposite end of the age spectrum, next fall they're going to be opening an early childhood center. And this will give 3 and 4-year-olds solid educational foundation and help our youngest learners get off to a great start. Another achievement for Midland Public comes in a report from Bridge Center for Michigan magazine. It's a magazine, and it's also, I think they call themselves the Truth Squad. According to the report, Midland students gained 5.4 grade levels from 3rd to 8th grade, which puts Midland Public Schools in the top 15% of schools in the state of Michigan. Now here's a statistic from our Visitors and Convention Bureau. Midland's leisure and hospitality industry employs over 9,300 people in the city of Midland. And last year, over $30 million was spent on overnight stays in Midland. This is up 9% from 2016. Now let's move out to the mall area. Individual shopping habits have changed. And like cities across the country, our mall has been impacted. Our mall is owned by a private developer, but what I'd like you to know is that the Business Alliance is working side by side with them, doing everything possible to help them be successful. So it's important for us to know, we want you to know, that it certainly is on our radar. There is growth going on out there. Last year, Lucky's opened, and this has been a wonderful option to provide a wonderful option for us for dining places to attend or to go to and enjoy. And McLaren has begun construction on medical offices on Joe Mann Boulevard so they can better serve their patients in this area. It's a 5,500 square foot building that, when completed, will bring 30 jobs to Midland, and they plan on opening next year. Our own Mid-Michigan Health is an economic driver in the region, and they continue to grow across the state. They are the 2nd largest employer in Midland, and last year they added 44 physicians and advanced healthcare providers across multiple disciplines. Construction is underway for their new Heart and Vascular Center, and this is planned to be open in 2020. Northwood University was named the winner of the 2018 NCAA Award of Excellence. This award is given to one Division II school each year, recognizing campus and community engagement. They won this award for their Make a Difference Day, Go Mad. This is where students, faculty, and staff go out into the community and volunteer. I think that Kim is here from Northwood, and Kim, please take our congratulations and thanks back to Northwood. Saginaw Road has been a topic of discussion this past year. In August, the Dow Chemical Company approached the city with a request to vacate a portion of Saginaw Road. With the companies on both sides both becoming one, it made sense for business efficiencies and for our community safety. Council granted their request, and soon you're going to start seeing construction on Waldo Road to accommodate the new traffic patterns. And as part of that agreement, Dow pledged $1 million to promote further improvements along the Saginaw Road corridor, Center City. The Center City Authority is in the process of creating a plan that will address infrastructure, aesthetics, economic development opportunities, and will help revitalize that Center City district. Center City is not only the second oldest business district in our city, but it is becoming the new front porch for the Saginaw Road entrance, and it's important that we make a good impression. We've been seeing things happening in Center City, certainly the beautiful renovation to Isabella Bank, the new Midland Furniture Garage, which has gone up in the old Firestone building next door, and Frankenmuth Bank is in the process of remodeling the former Co-America Bank building on Saginaw Road, and they will be moving in later this year. Now let's move to Midtown. I think that is one of the most fascinating grassroots efforts that is taking place in our community. 2 years ago, it didn't have a name. Now we call it Midtown, and there's two businesses, Live Oaks and Bricks Real Estate, that's really driving the redevelopment in that area. I think it's becoming a very cool neighborhood. Dow Gardens is continuing to work on their very exciting expansion. 2 weeks ago, they celebrated the opening of their new visitor center with a ribbon cutting, and it is redesigned and completely updated. Construction continues at Whiting Forest for what will be the longest canopy walk in the nation. It is on target to open next spring. When this project is completed, it's going to connect Dow Gardens with the Dow Gardens Whiting Forest portion of this. I think this change is going to have a huge impact on our community. The Center for the Arts is a wonderful gathering spot and a cultural destination for the region. The center has been working very hard to improve their products mix. They're working really hard to draw more crowds to the center, and I think they're excited about what they're beginning to see. They're pleased with their Broadway and Beyond series, and they're going to be kicking off the new series in April. The A.B. Dow Museum is being reinvented. The Spark Lab opened last fall, and it's going to be having additional upgrades to make it even more hands-on. And outside, I don't know if you've seen that dinosaur, but that dinosaur is attracting huge crowds. Over the next 3 months at the center, you can see the Jersey Boys, you can hear the symphony play, the Mahler's Fifth, you can see the production of Peter and the Starcatcher, you could see Diana Krall in concert, you could attend an outdoor party and be entertained by 10,000 maniacs, you could enjoy a cooking class and eat dinner with the chef for Princess Diana, and you could see Midland's own Kiefer brothers, who are the star of the hit reality show Dropped. I think they're getting their mix just right. Now let's move downtown. Last year, City Council approved the 3-year trial to narrow Buttle Street from 3 lanes to 2. Now, if you think about it on its own, some people might think it's unnecessary or frivolous. But when you put it in the big picture context, it begins to make sense. We want to be the city for people. So why not slow traffic down on that corridor so you can see our new beautiful downtown or the developments that are going on in between the one-way pairs? And why not slow it down so people who are riding bikes or walking can more easily cross the streets? And when you think about it in light of connectivity, why not work to connect downtown to Midtown to Center City? I think the downtown changes are incredibly exciting. The Loons are going to be opening up and starting their 12th season in April. The Courthouse Project is almost complete. And if you begin to look around downtown, Grazzi's is getting ready to open, Midland Burger Company is opening, there's going to be a new restaurant going into Journey's building, the fireplaces are in, and you're going to see other new amenities like pergolas and chess tables. And I think all of us are ready to shake off winter and go downtown. So in addition to the existing program that's been there, like the Larkin Beer Garden, Movies on Main, Tunes by the Tridge, you're going to see more programming happening down there. A craft beer festival, an art fair, a new and improved mannequin night, and so much more. Now I have a question. Does this sound like a boring city to you? We may not be what we were, and we may not be yet what we're going to become, but one thing is for sure. We are not boring. I know that I speak for all of us on council and at the city when I say that we're going to do everything to help us continue to be the fantastic place that we are. Thank you for doing your part too. We're a team. We're in this together. Together, forward, bold, an exceptional place where everyone thrives. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Dunker. Is this on? Is this not on? Is it on?
No, it's because I forgot to turn mine on.
Oh. There we go. Thank you. Thank you so much. I agree. We are not a boring city. And our business community isn't boring either. Thank you so much to the mayor and to the city of Midland for your leadership in tackling the changes that we pursue on our own and those that come our way that maybe we didn't anticipate. We appreciate it. On behalf of 940 members of the business community, thank you very much. And thank you, Mayor Donker. And if you've been to this event before, you no doubt noticed that we have a new addition to the agenda this year. And to implement that new addition, I'm going to welcome Sharon Mortensen, the president for the Midland Area Community Foundation.
Well, good afternoon. And I walk away from this every year so thankful for this city, don't you? For the people that serve us in elected positions, for those that serve us through their service to the city in so many ways. So I walk away inspired. So this is great. And you know, we looked at today the way that we've overcome our challenges or opportunities, and the way that we continue to passionately live our vision, Midland, to gather forward bold, an exceptional place where everyone thrives. Well, today I'm here to announce a new award that we plan to give each year at the State of the City. Partnering with the Chamber and the City of Midland, we're pleased to present the Citizenship Award. And it's important to note that there is a fundamental difference between being a resident and being a citizen. And I know we've heard that talked about again and again. Because a citizen is engaged, they're active, they strive to make the community a better place. And additionally, I think this is really important because this is what this award is all about. A citizen engages in civility, bringing ideas and concerns forward in a constructive, respectful manner in the face of a societal inclination toward divisive behavior. So what we're looking for in this award is not volunteerism, not leadership, not philanthropy, but rather to recognize an individual who is unselfishly committed to making the community a better place by engaging and helping others to employ civility, respect, and inclusiveness to make a difference. The goal of granting this award is to highlight the work of really largely unheralded individuals who go about the doing in a manner that renders them an example to their fellow citizens. And it helps others to aspire to that. The award is meant to recognize individuals who are largely under the radar, or we might call them unsung heroes, as they go about engaging in dialogue and action to bring about positive community change. While we're calling this the Citizenship Award, we debated calling it the Civility and Community Service Award, but doesn't exactly roll off the tip of the tongue. But what we wanted to call attention to was the importance of how individuals go about their work. So this is really about how you do that work. So today we're excited to announce our first award winner to you. And this individual has been involved in community service, going about it in a civil, inclusive manner and respectful manner too, I would add, for decades. He's been involved in several community improvement projects, including service on the County Parks and Recreation Committee and the Brownstone Lumber Committee in the 1980s. Who remembers Brownstone Lumber? Who's been around a while? Okay, so a few of you, okay, you can say it's all right. We know that some of you are over the age of 40, okay, in this room. Some aren't, but anyway. So, and he helped with the development, and that really was what set the stage to develop our riverfront downtown, that beautiful Tridge. This was work done prior to that. He also helped with the rail trail project when it was first conceived. And back when our rail trail was done, there weren't a lot of rail trails. It was really a new movement across the country. So sometimes when you bring a new idea, there is what? Pushback to a new idea. And so he was part of this moving forward. He's also served in a lot of ways. He's been involved with Center Stage Theater. He's been involved with stage and lighting crews. Today he serves on the City Park and Recreation Commission, and he helps to improve our incredible parks assets here. And while the award wasn't created for volunteerism, this year's honoree has a long history of volunteering. He's helped with community events, including annual River Days, the Santa House, the courthouse lighting. And unfortunately, though, this is the sad part, our honoree could not be here. In fact, we hear right now he's on a flight to Florida, where maybe some of you would like to be. But the Midland Area Community Foundation, along with the Midland Area Chamber of Commerce and the City of Midland, is proud to present the Citizenship Award to longtime Midlander Robert Johns, or Bob Johns as he's known to friends and fellow citizens. He exemplifies what it means to be a citizen who goes about setting an example of how to carry out business in a respectful, inclusive, and civil manner. His quiet and unassuming conduct set an example for all of us. Please help me to congratulate Bob in his absence today. And the fact that many of you do not know him means this is just the kind of individual we want to recognize, someone who goes about bringing about good. We do plan to recognize him at an upcoming chamber event so we can have him get in front and receive applause from all of you. In addition, a donation will be made to the community organization of his request as a way to recognize his citizenship in this community. So thanks for helping to recognize our Citizen of the Year. And are you coming back, Diane? Okay, Diane's going to say goodbye to all of you. So.
I do get to say goodbye, but before we do that, again, I'd like to extend our appreciation to Mayor Dunker and the City of Midland for today's address. Please remember to take the cards on your table that indicate how to get involved. We want you to be involved for sure. I would like to also extend our gratitude to Spence Brothers and Three Rivers Corporation for sponsoring today's event. We appreciate that very, very much. And with that, thank you so much for being here, and have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.